we're going to have more fun because, there's the great thing about Montgomery County and our County Executive Marc Elrich is that he loves spending other people's money. And he loves increasing taxes and fees on Montgomery County residents and business every single chance he gets. And this year, he may have outdone himself. Not only did Mr. Elrich propose a 3.5-cent property tax increase funding for our underachieving public school system, but he's also recommending a $50 million increase in the design of a new resource recovery facility. And for those who don't know what that means the dump and how to get rid of our trash that's going to replace the incinerator in Dickinson. And under the proposal, and this is just amazing, under the proposal, $36 million is going to be used to design the facility, even though they haven't selected a location or know where they're going to put it. So Maricé, county executive, let's face it, he's a lame duck. He's going to be out of office soon. And there are several members, not going to mention anybody right now, on the county council eager to run in next year's election. And is this a losing political strategy by the county executive, as evidenced by Andrew Friedson's quick response stating his opposition to the tax increase?
Well, all jokes aside, we are dealing with some very hard issues, especially with President Trump signing an illegal executive order to eliminate the Department of Education. So there will be issues that we as county residents will have to address. But going to the question of whether Marc Elrich is a lame duck and if this is a strategy or not, because he's a lame duck at this point, some people care about their legacy. Others, at this point, I think he's probably just answering to the loudest. To the loudest, people in the choir, I guess. We know that the Board of Ed did ask for I think there was like a $10 million increase to their budget, and Marc has been known to jump as high as they ask him to jump. And obviously that means that, he has to come up with the numbers. Now, I don't think that this is very savvy of him to continue to put it on the homeowners. And I think Andrew Friedson is absolutely jumping on that opportunity, especially because he is positioning himself to run for county executive. But the issue on the incinerator as well, Marc also ran on the progressive values of the environmental issues, et cetera. But I don't know how you reconcile, wanting to, be strategic and efficient with our tax dollars about where our waste will go, but then also, using $36 million of tax revenue to design another operating facility that's supposed to replace the incinerator. At this point, where's that coming from? Is he answering to some other kind of lobbying effort? I'm not sure, but it's kind of left field. And I think at this point, there may not be any strategy. I think he's just responding to the loudest people kind of, getting on his calendar at this point.
He's now talking about that he's going to run for an at-large seat when his term is up. So, I don't know Mr. Elrich very well. I've met him a couple of times. I don't think he cares. I think he's got, his agenda, and he does what he wants to do. But, the question about education is always fascinating because we have a declining enrollment in Montgomery County. We have about 1,000 less students than we did the year before, and it continues to decline since the COVID years. And also, our test scores aren't improving. So, throwing more money at education may not be the answer. Helene, in response to Mr. Elrich, proposal, Reardon Sullivan, who is the chair of the Montgomery County Republican Central Committee, has proposed a county charter amendment that would limit increases in county spending increases to the consumer price index. And political gadfly Robin Ficker also has a proposal to limit property taxes to the rate of inflation. So is there enough sentiment in the county that will support either of those two proposals, do you think?
I think that it's totally possible that people will, sign up for those petitions. I believe that the outlook of looking at spending instead of looking at tax increase is very interesting from our chairman. I like that idea to limit the spending, tax, to limit the spending percentage increase to the prior consumer price index. So it's very interesting because it targets spendings instead of targeting tax increase.
Well, I think the response has been fairly interesting, and I think there's going to be more. When the last tax increase proposal for property taxes was offered by Mr. Elrich, the county council cut it back severely, and so we'll see what happens when the county council first takes this up. When we come back from this short break, why are residents divided over an increase in workforce housing? And one state considers Trump derangement syndrome a mental disease. Stay tuned.